Welcome back to Main Street Living. I'm Danielle Avari. As Quincy mentioned before the break, Dr. Hector Salazar is a double board certified plastic surgeon at La Jolla Cosmetic Surgery Center in La Jolla, California. Let's welcome him into Main Street Living. Dr. Salazar, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, thanks so much for the invitation. Pretty excited to be here with you guys today.
Awesome. Absolutely. So we want to get to know you, of course. We know that you studied throughout the United States, but also in Mexico. What can you tell us about your background and why you decided to go into plastic surgery?
Oh, thanks so much for the opportunity. So I'm a board certified plastic surgeon by the American Board of Plastic Surgery. I grew up in the Baja California region, and then I moved to Texas to get my training in plastic surgery as well as in general surgery. So a fully trained general surgeon, and then pursue further training in plastic surgery. And that's pretty much what I do every day. I do cosmetic surgery. That's the 100% of my practice to make the world a better place, one patient at a time.
One patient at a time. Can I be another patient for you if you don't mind?
Absolutely.
I got a couple of things I want to change, I think, right? Now, Doc, I got to ask you, so breast augmentation began in the 1960s, right? And then I read that the number 2 most popular cosmetic procedure for women at this point, like where are we in terms of safety with this type of surgery for breast augmentation?
Well, yeah, as you're saying, it's a now a pretty well-established procedure that was developed in the 1960s. And actually, I don't know if you know this detail, but I actually trained in the program of plastic surgery where the breast implant was developed.
Oh, wow.
In the 1960s. Yeah, by Dr. Brower and Dr. Cronin. And they developed it based on a saline bag like an IV fluid bag. And it is a very safe procedure to be performed. The FDA has approved saline and silicone gel implants, and they're fully approved now. And actually, yeah, you're correct. I mean, it's the second most common procedure after liposuction. And I could tell you that here in our surgery center, we perform several surgeries of breast augmentations a week. So we have plenty of experience on that. And it's a very safe procedure, as we were saying before.
Wow.
Yeah, but absolutely, I'm sure still a very big decision. And some of the biggest questions that probably come to mind is, where are the incisions made? Are they easy to hide? How do you get this natural result?
Well, honestly, I mean, to answer your last question, how do you get a natural result is literally just by asking to have a natural result. And I think that's a very important thing that patients should know. And the first question that patients actually need to ask themselves is, what look do I want to obtain? Because we can actually drive them through all the intricacies, all the different choices to obtain the look that they want. Including the type of implant, the shape of the implant, the position of the implant, like in front of the muscle, behind the muscle, the incisions that we're going to be using. Is it going to be well hidden underneath the breast? Is it going to be like around the areola margin? All those decisions, we take them together with the patient. It's their surgery, their breast, their choice.
Gotcha. So their choice. So how do you actually determine, Doc, what's the right fit for each patient? Like, what technology, what tools are used in the, I guess the consultation process to help with that?
Oh, I love that question, because I think that's even a question that patients that have been doing their research and everything about the topic before they come here, as you can imagine now, with all social media, with the internet, with all the sources and tools that we have handy as patients. Patients come in very well educated. So they come with a good amount of information that can sometimes be a little confusing. And during that first consultation, in which we dedicate a good amount of time and we listen to what they want to obtain, is when all those questions get clarified. So for instance, we have several tools here that are gonna take the patients where they want to go. So listening to what they say, it's very key, dedicating a good amount of time. This is not buying shoes, I tell patients sometimes when they're having trouble deciding for this or that style. I mean, this is a big decision, as you're saying, and that's how we treat them. That's why we dedicate a good amount of time, listen to what their goals are, look at pictures that they bring, right? I mean, on their phone, sometimes they have like 10, 12, 20 pictures that they want to show us. I like this, I don't like that. Then what we do is we actually measure them, very precisely, look at their anatomy, and then start making choices from there. We look at different implants, we look at different profiles of the implants. Then what we do is we have sizers. So those are dummy implants that we put in a special bra, and then they wear a t-shirt, and then they start looking and about their new image. And then even some patients qualify for having Vectra, which is it's a tool that not every single plastic surgeon has available. And we do have it here for our patients. We took a digital image, and then we start morphing and inserting virtually those implants into their profile, and they can see the different looks that they can obtain. After that, no surprises. After that, they know exactly how they're going to look.
Okay,
Yeah.
so 1 second, Danielle. I have a follow question, because you were talking about how patients can like they can take pictures and all that stuff. Do you get a lot of people that come in with the horror stories? Because when you type in anything in Google, right, it'll tell you all the bad stuff. So do they come in and flood you with, well, I heard this can happen, I heard this can happen, how do we get around this?
Yeah, and that's a very valid question. Again, as I was telling you, when you buy shoes, I mean, you don't get like all those risks and benefits, right? Or or that kind of list over here. Yeah, it's a very important decision. It's we don't take it light. I mean, we dedicate the time to. If you have heard of a horror story, tell me what it is about, so we can explain to you how we done in the correct setting, which is how we do things over here. How we are going to be preventing that from happening, or how you're not even going to be exposed to that risk. I mean, there's certain risks that we actually, because of the way we practice and safety comes first in our practice, we don't even take those patients through certain risks they probably have heard. So yeah, I think it's very important. Tell me everything that all your fears, tell me everything you want to get, and we'll deal with it over here. You'll see by the end of the consultation, they are confident, and they are not only confident having the surgery, but confident with their own decision.
Yeah. And I so appreciate that you take the time to answer all of those questions in the consultation. One of those questions I have to imagine has to be about children, women who want to have children someday. What happens to the implants? Can they still breastfeed?
Absolutely. And that comes up frequently. Yeah. So implants, as I was saying at the beginning, they're safe devices. Implants do not interfere with breastfeeding. And again, we clarify pretty much all those anatomy questions, but I would say the great majority of patients want their implant behind the muscle, and that's away from the breast gland, right, where the milk is being produced. So it is safe. Studies have shown that there is no impact in terms of breastfeeding. That being said, so let's say that a patient comes in, has never had kids. She's wondering about breastfeeding and implants, but we don't even know if she is capable of breastfeeding, right? Because you've heard a cousin, an aunt, even a mom, or someone who actually has shared a story, or a friend of, I didn't have very much milk, and then she doesn't even have implants. So we can't know the abilities of a patient without having to try like first breastfeeding with or without an implant. So, but they're very safe.
Yeah, that's good to know. Yeah. What is the recovery like after a procedure like this?
Well, even though it is a procedure, right? It is a surgical procedure. I tend to tell patients that they're going to feel fine after 2 to 3 days. They'll feel fine. Still, they had surgery, so they're going to have that discomfort of their breast. Mainly comes from the pressure of the implant being underneath the muscle, literally, because normally you don't have anything underneath the muscle, so the implant is going to be stimulating your muscle there in the sense of creating a little bit of pressure. You're going to get that pressure, you're going to feel it for about a week or two, and then after that's going to start getting better. We ask them not to exercise for 2 to 3 weeks, but they can function pretty well. Let's say they do surgery on a Thursday, they take off Friday, by Monday they can be back to work, as long as it doesn't involve a lot of physical effort. After surgery, they just need to take it easy a little bit for a week, and then after that they can go back.
Well, the La Jolla Cosmetic Surgery Center and you have tremendous reviews. Why do you think your rating is so high, and what attracted you to join this practice?
Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. Yeah, and we're fully aware of that. We work really hard on obtaining a great result, and especially patient satisfaction. We never call a surgery a success unless the patient likes his or her result. I think that's very important for patients that are looking for a center for plastic surgery to obtain that result. And what I could tell you is, yeah, I mean, our practice has been ongoing for 35 years. And 3 words I would say define our practice, which is excellence, patient experience, and safety. And I would say definitely we always put the patient first, regardless, in terms of safety, and then satisfaction in obtaining the result that they're looking for.
That is super, Doc. And I mean, it's safety, it's patient first, and what now?
And excellence.
And excellence.
Excellence. Don't forget the excellence, Quincy. Come on.
Cannot forget the excellence. Well, you know, it's clear to see why your patients have found the utmost, or they have the utmost confidence in what you guys do, Doc. So thank you very much for being with us here on Main Street Living today.
No, thanks so much for the invitation. And I always like to take that chance to communicate to, I would say, general public or patients or future patients that are interested in undergoing this type of surgery. We, as I said, take it very, very professional, very seriously. At the same time, we are within the reach of a phone call, within the reach of an email, within the reach of a text, not only for that first consultation, not only for the surgery, but afterwards, and for patients to really see that we are a team throughout the journey. We continue seeing our patients even years after surgery just to follow up on their breast implants. I think it's really, really important.
Absolutely. Yes. That's so cool. Thank you again, Doc, for stopping by.
Pleasure being with you guys.
All right, coming up, Tom gets some road safety tips for this holiday season. Stay with us.